No, it's because gravity explains the pulling of weight, and weight is defined by body mass. The body mass does not miraculously change just because you go higher. Your body is made of water mostly, some solids, and air. All this creates a density. Like a stone is very dense, air is much less dense. That is why a stone falls through the air, until it hits another stone, or objects with similar densities. The only reason why we humans are pulled downwards is because of this universal exchange of densities, that keeps everything in balance. Do not be fooled into thinking this only happens downwards. For example, air bubbles in water rise up to sea level, simply because air is less dense than water. Helium balloons fly upwards, because helium itself is less dense than air, it has less mass. Weight is nothing but a resulting force of the exchange of densities, defined by mass. The air bubbles that rise up in liquids also have a weight, but their gravitational force is pointing upwards. Gravity, the way the masses general population understand it as this universal force that pulls everything down, is very false. It just pleases the minds of people, because they relate to themselves and their own gravitational forces more than to air bubbles in water. Every time you breathe in deeply, you actually reduce your weight, because your body contains more air for short amount of time. Of course nobody realizes this, because your lungs can only contain a certain amount of air. But if you were to do this in water, you will see that with air in your lungs, you tend to go upwards, release the air and your body will go downwards. Gravity is not a force that comes from within Earth, gravity is the result of the exchange of densities. This is why you have gases above liquids, and liquids above solids, in a simplified version. Imagine a cube, and you put sand, water and air into it, then you close it. After some time, the sand will be at the bottom, the water will be clear and the air will be above the water level. This is because every particles needs space. Even air, although it's invisible, needs space. The air is not only pushed upwards by the water and the sand, it also pushes the water and the sand downwards at the same time, creating pressure, which keeps the water having a level. Even the sand has level due to the pressure of water from above. The sand itself pushes water upwards again. Then people ask, but why is sand down and air goes up? Why is sand not going up, and air goes down? So they think this is because of some invisible force from the core of the Earth. Mass alone does not create a force. The force that pulls an object up or down is created due to other objects with masses. Simply every single particle has a mass, and that mass is interacting with its current surroundings. The air with a certain mass in its current surrounding, being a liquid, will then move upwards, in a way like coming home to where it belongs. The water will push the air accordingly, helping it, lifting it upwards, until the air reunites with its family, so to say. In this balance, every particle is happy. The water is happy because it removed the air, and the air is happy because it got his old friend back who seemed to be lost in the waters. This is universal balance. It is a law. It is God's law. No man can tell you why solids go down and gases go up. It's the way God has created it, designed it. There is no imaginary force from below the Earth. It's this universal balance which motivates particles to exchange according to their physical properties, meaning mass, and therefore density.
Let's do time trials for 3 different ways to empty this bottle. The first way is to do absolutely nothing special and just flip it upside down. As you can see, this is really slow because the air bubbles have to go in to fill the vacuum that's created as the water's leaving, and these bubbles obstruct the flow of water. By the time the bottle was completely empty in this method, it was around 15.5 seconds. The second strategy is to swing the bottle around to create a vortex. As you can see, this creates a channel of air that helps relieve the pressure and improve the time. This method was almost twice as fast as the first one at around 8.5 seconds. Lastly, the pro strategy, which is to use a straw, unblock the hole right as you release it. The straw provides a passageway to relieve the pressure, and it results in the fastest time at around 4.5 seconds.
In this case, the water has a hard time getting out, because air from outside the bottle wants to escape into the bottle, actually, which keeps the flow of water stagnating. You can see the air bubbles rising up, while the water is flowing down. As he explained, the water closes the opening while flowing out. This creates a vacuum inside the bottle, which creates enough air pressure from outside, so that air bubbles actually travel through the opening into the bottle. Again, because of balance? An exchange of densities. The word vacuum is misleading, because people in general have the wrong idea about what a vacuum actually means. The word vacuum refers to particle-less space. This is an ideology, it is a utopian image, that does not exist nowhere in the universe. When science talks about vacuums on Earth, or even in space, they mean a nearing towards this utopian particle-less space. Such a space does not exist, however, in reality. We would not be here, we would not live, if such a vacuum could ever be achieved. And it can't. There is no machine that can mechanically create a vacuum. There are pumps strong enough to create nearly a vacuum. That's all. If you suck the air out of a plastic bottle, the bottle will be squeezed. If you do the same with a bottle made of glass, your lungs are not strong enough mechanically to draw most of the air. So your mouth will actually start to stick to the bottle, because of this neared vacuum inside the bottle. But if you had a mechanical pump that is strong enough, the glass would be squeezed just like the plastic bottle, and eventually break into all pieces. So the nearing of a vacuum-like space also heavily depends on the material that is enclosing that space. And fact is that there is no material on Earth with which the walls of such a room could be made of, and withstand the forces of air pressure. A total vacuum does not exist anywhere in this universe. Isn't that amazing? Additionally to that, a human body in water is almost weightless, but a human body surrounded by gases can never be weightless. Weightlessness in space is a lie. All the footage you see from NASA is lies. They film some things underwater, combined with other film production tricks to create the illusion of weightlessness in space. Astronauts floating in space is a dream, because in reality, this does not exist. In reality, a human falls down through gases until the body hits the ground, or water. Because the body largely consists of materials much denser than gas. Your body uses the same trick while urinating, as funny as it sounds. When you urinate, while liquids flow out of your body, a little bit of air goes into your body, keeping everything in balance.